Okay. Okay, maybe there is sound. Let's see, got 8 comments already. Oh, did I do the right thing? Uh-oh. I think I gave the wrong thing here. I don't know, maybe it geez, because okay, here we go. I got 8 bytes. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. You know, they're blocking my video. That's what they're doing, if you can hear me. For no reason. I mean, I don't even have any sound. Okay.
Okay, I'm in. Hare Krishna.
Okay, let's see here. Can you hear me, Tom?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, you know, they're blocking me on Facebook for no reason. It says there's some copyright problem, and there's nothing.
Strange.
Let's see here, speakers, headphones. Okay. All right. Say something, Tom.
Test, Hare Krishna. Test.
Okay, how come nobody else is here? I wonder if they're blocking it again.
They can't find your link. If Facebook blocks it, they cannot find your link. They don't have no link to Zoom.
Okay, let me check this here. Did you find my link? Is it on Facebook?
Yes, I found your link on Facebook. But I don't know if it's still available for the other persons.
Uh-huh. So, okay, I'm going to pin this here. Oops. Okay. All right. So let's see, on Restream, you didn't have these issues. Yeah. No Zoom link. Join our club. Okay. No Zoom link. I just gave a Zoom link. Okay, River is here. Okay, we made it. Yeah, it's just like life, if you want to get something down, you just got to experiment, and that's what we do. Yeah. Okay, Hare Krishna, let's see. All right, is the sound better now? It's good, okay. All right, so let's see. Tom, how is this chanting impacting your life?
Wow. When I chant, it helps me to set the priorities. Yes, so best for me helps when I'm chanting alone at this moment. When I'm going outside and walk and chant, everything settles and the priorities they become clear.
How do you feel when you chant?
Clear. The clarity comes, and there is not much. Sometimes there is this ecstatic feeling and this laughing, but it's always the clarity improves.
Okay, great. So you get clarity. So Lalita, are you there? Wake up.
I was
Okay.
not asleep.
Yeah.
I was not sleeping.
So tell us, what is chanting to you? What does it mean to you?
Oh, this means everything in my life, Guru Maharaj. Really, this is my everything I'm living for. This brings me the greatest happiness you can imagine. That you even don't know that it ever exists. Give me such a loving feeling. Makes me drunk on love of God, makes me completely drunk. Happy, peaceful, gives me another life. I live on another platform. I live on another planet. When I start chanting, zip, I'm gone. I'm somewhere else. I don't belong to this material world anymore.
Somebody hold her feet down. Hold her feet down, man. She's gonna fly away.
I'm flying. I'm really flying. This is the greatest experience that you can imagine. Really. Yeah.
So I guess it's kind of valuable, would you say? Is this?
It's very valuable is not the right word. Unmissbar. You can't miss this. This is the goal of life, man. The perfection of life. That's this. Just receive this mercy. Receive this spirit. Receive this. This thing that makes you fly high in the sky. Gives you a completely different life. Nothing else matters anymore. Nothing else matters. So thank you so much for your association and for showing us the symptoms when you are flying.
Yeah.
How you look like when you fly.
I think you're
Yeah.
flying higher than me. That's great. Yeah. Yeah, that's, you're showing like the chanting the way it was 500 years ago. After a while, they were chanting like that, like you are. And people, they just didn't care about anything else. They would just fly, in this, it is the greatest happiness. People with money, and you look at their face and they say, well, you see, I'm wealthy, I'm really happy, but they don't look that happy. People like with that chant and have this wealth, they look happy. I mean, really happy. Yeah. So yeah, great. So Karuna, tell us, what is it? What has chanting done for you? So let's hear. You can unmute. You can be honest, whatever it is, what it has done or not done, I don't care. Where are you there, Karuna? Come on, unmute.
Hello.
There we go. Okay, here we go.
Hell, low hell. Hell is low. Hare Krishna. Can thou hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
What was the question?
What has chanting done for you? What has
Oh,
it added to your
chanting.
life?
What has
Yes.
chanting done for me? Oh, chanting has given me an opportunity to experience the transcendental, to show that it's more outside the three-dimensional, that God exists, that He's here with us. Chanting has allowed me to find shelter in something that seems so ridiculously, mundanely, brain-numbingly stupid, but has given me so much that a simple process of just repeating the names of God over and over gives so much shelter that it just goes to show you how fallen we are in this age, that He really has been so merciful to give us this process of mantra meditation that we can go deep into and find no bottom to it. And then, of course, we see someone like yourself chanting in the ecstasy of the prema bhakti. It gives you more confirmation that this path is real. Not that we really needed it. I mean, once you step into the realm of chanting Hare Krishna, anyone who sticks to this path must have experienced something outside the realm of their ability to. And when they see someone like yourself experiencing what you're experiencing, then it's like, oh my God, look how far this rabbit hole goes. So, yeah, that's what I've experienced.
Yeah, different levels of chanting, so like Prabhupada knew, let's just get them to start chanting, and there's some happiness and bliss, especially when he was around, it shows you when such a person is around that actually is elevated to the chanting place, even though they may not be teaching all the esoteric things, the deep things, secrets, still people pick it up, that's why you need the association of truly elevated personalities that have transcended the material consciousness. So how do you feel when you chant there, Karuna? You're muted. Okay, looks like that's it. Let's see if we're still on Facebook. I think we probably are. let's see here. I'll put the link.
Yeah, you're still on Facebook.
Okay. All right, that's good. All right, so maybe we'll read a little bit here. Just a little while longer because I got to move around a little bit. I got up a little bit late. It's already getting too hot to even walk around. Krishna. I'm going to just read a couple of verses from Bhagavad Gita or something. I'm going to take this headphone off too, hopefully, like this thing. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Chapter 9, Most Confidential Knowledge. Let's see, speaking real time. Okay. All right, so is everybody hearing me okay? Just put your thumb up. Okay. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence." Isn't that nice? You know, if all people have to do is listen, listen to this knowledge that's coming in disciplic succession from a real person who is relieved from material miseries because of the transcendental sound. Because they heard. Look, I mean, you guys are examples. You're hearing this knowledge not only from reading it in the book, like we're getting reports, and when it starts coming from your mouths and you start understanding, you just stand up and say, yeah, you say, for like 20 years I was in ISKCON and I read these books and I heard from these sannyasis, I heard from these gurus, but when I hear from a source that is empowered by the spiritual potency, it's so much different. You become like Arjuna on that battlefield, hearing from Krishna. And this is no joke. Can you imagine? You can't even imagine that. People in ISKCON can't even imagine that. People even anywhere, in any of these sanghas, can't even imagine that. See? Except here. You don't imagine it. It's not an imagination. It's as it is. It's like, wow, this is really great to hear this knowledge. It does relieve me of these material miseries. It lifts me up. The name lifts me up in this association. The pastimes lift me up in this association. See? But that's why, somehow or other, you have to be open to listening, and you have to give respect to the real devotees and not consider them neophytes or sahajas or anything like this. You have to give them a chance. You have to come and listen for a while. You have to associate with them, and there are those who have been associating with them, and really get that this is real. Otherwise, they're fooled by Maya at every step, especially right now. Can you see how the people are fooled by Maya? In every direction, Maya is screwing you. Screwing everybody. There's got to be something real in this world. And when there is, and if you get a hold of it, you're going to be really happy. Okay? You're going to be like, wow, I found an oasis in this desert of the material universe, not just the world. The whole universe is a desert without this. It's just various levels of sense enjoyment for the coverings to the soul. This is sense enjoyment for the soul. See, we can sense this. You notice? We're sensation. This is the most amazing like testimonies you can hear. People are testifying about sensation they're getting from chanting a mantra that is from out of this world. It had to come into this world. See, God exists, like, you know, like Krishna says, everything is in me, but I'm not in them. I'm not in, you know, all the living entities are in me, but I'm not in them. See? But you guys are chanting, say, yeah, that Lord is in me. When you say, oh, this is so wonderful. Yeah, because God is wonderful. Most wonderful thing we can ever experience. The most exhilarating, enlivening thing, like Sim was saying, you know, I feel like, you know, lifted up and all these things. And purification. See, it's purification going on, definitely, right? You're unloading baggage so you can fly higher into this. Man, you should see how much Lalita lifted up, man, you know, unloaded. She unloaded a big wad of baggage, man. Everybody, River, all of us, we're just unloading baggage so we can fly more into this, into God, because it's the only trustworthy thing in this world. Everything else is a cheating. There's always some kind of cheating going on in this Maya, in all the universe. You can meet the greatest beings in this universe, and they may seem fantastic and charismatic and all that, but there's some level of cheating going on until you meet the real disciplic line, you know, that actually comes from Lord Caitanya. I'm telling you, the ISKCON, Gaudiya Smiti, Gaudiya Math, since they're already connected with Krishna, they're going to be very happy when they understand what's going on here. This is the fruit of what they've been working for. You know, this is where it's all leading. From here, it leads you directly to Goloka Vrindavan. I ain't joking. I'm not exaggerating. You guys are already, many of you are witnesses of it, and it becoming more and more of a witness. It ain't stopping, man. It's just expanding more and more. You notice? How can others not notice? They're just snailing along on these Vaidhi paths. Even in the Narayan Raj, they're just going like this. And we're on the speedboat, man. The Lord wants everybody on the speedboat, right? You think the Lord likes to see us unhappy? People say, well, why is God let this happen? Why are you letting it happen? God ain't let, you know, we're here to, you know, because God doesn't want it to happen. If you just listen, yeah, but people still, if they still have envy and jealousy and everything, that has to be dismantled. Because they won't listen and be lifted. See, lifted, listen. Isn't that amazing how all these things relate? You think it's just a coincidence? No, it's because we're tapped into a superhuman genius. The Lord, you know, you think they have computers that can do fantastic things in AI? Krishna is the most huge thing. And he doesn't even, he says, that's my other form. I'm not interested in that. I just like to have intimate pastimes with my devotees. That's more fun. See, what he wants to give us is better than knowing, wow, you're just a big, fantastic knowledge base. You know, that's what people think it's all about. Oh yeah, Sadhguru, let's go to him. He's a big knowledge base. Oh yeah, let's go to Elon Musk. He's a big knowledge. See, it's all about, you know, knowledge, material knowledge. No sad in any gurus except here. See, everything is an imitation. Everything is an exaggeration. Everything is a bluff in this world except the real thing. Somebody empowered it through the real line. See, you know, otherwise, everywhere you go, there's sad, but no real Sadhguru. There's Sad, no, there's Sadguru, but no Sadguru. That's the biggest illusion, isn't it? I go to Sadguru to get Sadguru, and what do I get? A save the soil person. I thought I came to Sadguru to get liberated. No. We're here to save the soil, man. We're here to save the earth, you know? Well, see, that's the imitation. What he's saying is basically true. Sadguru is made to save the earth. You're the earth, man. We're the earth. We've been identifying with the earth. It's not really us, but we believe it. You meet the real Sadguru, all of a sudden you find out your spirit. Why? Because they know their spirit. They'll convince you. They'll lift you. That's like they take their little transcendental hand and they squeeze that spirit that's been buried down in the lower chakras, you know, the root chakra, survival there. You know, all the demons are saying, hey, man, we'll keep you safe, man. Just stay in your house. We'll lock your crown, your root chakra. We'll keep you in the house. You know, those people, those poor people in Shanghai, my God, they're screaming out their windows now. I don't know if you've heard. 7 days, complete lockdown. They locked the door from the outside. Screaming out, ah! I was listening. Why is that? Usually because even if I went to Shanghai now and I said, listen, all you have to do is accept the Lord, man, accept this mantra, accept this thing. No, we won't accept. Most people will still do that. But anyway, the bottom line is whoever is willing to hear from the devotees, associate with devotees. This goes anybody, just like you see, we're having examples here, like Amy, you know, she doesn't come from a religious background per se, really. You know, just somebody, it's touched her heart and she's getting the benefit of this. Lifted, see this lifting thing. What do you think saving means? Saving, you know, Viraha, this thing of the boar, saved the earth. The earth was fallen in the waters of devastation. You know what the waters of devastation is? These are all symbols that nobody understands until you've realized God. Then you see everything is symbolic of the truth that's being expressed right before everybody's eyes. You know, the Illuminati, they're putting things in front of your eyes, all the elites and everything. They know all these symbols and they're laughing at you. They're laughing at the world. You don't see right before your eyes. They're telling you what they're doing, what they've been doing and everything. And they think they know so much. But I'm laughing at everybody. I'm laughing at the Illuminati. They don't see what God is really doing in the whole picture. See, they're also covered. They don't have enough degrees to understand what the Lord's devotees understand. See? So Viraha, he lifted the world that was in the waters of devastation. The waters of devastation is this Maya, the illusion. It covers everybody. See, water, emotion, people are bonded to things that are dead. You know, the modes of nature have no real life in them. Not really. The only life is what the little that the Lord has given it. See, so the world, everybody has been fallen. It needs to be saved. So either the Lord comes, and you see, he came as a boar. The Lord wants to show you, look, I can come as anything and save the world if I want. I don't have to be something special, you know, some special sannyasi to save the world. I'll come as a carpenter and save the world. Jesus was the great idea of God. When he was here, and still is a great, all devotees, their reputation never ends. You can always benefit from real devotees. Matter of fact, the whole Bhagavatam is about various kinds of devotees from various places. It's not all like in our line. You're just people that are worthy to remember because they realized their source. They realized where it all came from. That Lord was in them, and they were in the Lord, and the Lord was in them. They were at some level of intimacy with the absolute eternal truth. Otherwise, it's just a big show. You know, religion, big show. Okay, so anyway. My dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge. See, this confidential knowledge, this kind of knowledge, it's right there in the book, but nobody sees it. Unless you've realized intimacy with God, you see it. You guys are seeing it, but most of ISKCON hasn't seen it. How do we know? Well, you guys are examples of that. You know, you were looking for it. You went to ISKCON. I think, let's see, River there, and then Tom, and then Lalita Madhava, and also Lalita and Karnar, and others here, and Johan, and you know, Freddie. You were seeing something, but just the tip of the iceberg. See, this is confidential knowledge. It's for those who go and they listen to the real representatives of this confidential knowledge. See? That's why you see any.
Now the picture is frozen and there's no sound here.
Internet problems. Guru Maharaj is gone again. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Rama,
Hare Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Krishna, Hare Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama.
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama,
Ram Hare Ram,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Rama Rama,
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Ram,
Rama Rama, Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama, Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare Krishna
Rama, Rama, Hare
Rama Hare Rama Rama
Hare
Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare
So
Krishna
the one who makes the most noises in the picture, eh? Karuna?
Hare
Gauranga! The empty can rattles the most. The sound of your own voice most please you. Hearing only what you heard and hearing only what you say.
So why don't you put your picture on? Sorry, your video on. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama
Knowing only what you heard.
Rama, Rama, Hare
You
Krishna.
put it all on yourself. Misery loves company.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Gauranga! Nityananda Gauranga! Nityananda Gauranga! Nityananda Gauranga!
I've got a message from Srila. Yes?
Yeah.
He says, I'm out of internet.
Oh, okay.
What are we going to do now for the muckers?
What we're gonna do with the Lighthouse family?
I'm out of internet as well.
There's only one person watching on Facebook. I've
Yeah.
got loads of fucking internet. I'm unlimited here.
Me too. Unlimited. Oh. He's gone back on Facebook.
Gauranga Nityananda, Gauranga Nityananda, Gauranga Nityananda, Gauranga Nityananda.
Let's be a little
Okay, message from Srila. Stay as for a while, read and discuss.
Okay.
I want Sim to read. Sim, read. Sim, read. Sim, read. Sim, read. I want Sim to read.
There's quite a few people on Facebook.
Come on, Sim, you big putang.
Where's Lolita gone? She's gone as well.
She's out of internet.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama. Do you want to read for us, Karuna?
Well, somebody read then, God's sake.
Well, I was
No,
reading
I've got-
before. Do you want to read,
I've
Tom?
got nothing to read. I'm all out of books.
You've got your phone. You can go on the phone on Prabhupada's books. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama.
That's
Do
true.
something
That's very
useful.
true.
Yeah. Do something useful, Karuna.
Lolita's here. I can't see your picture, Lolita.
it's
Oh, there you are.
my-
You're back. You're back. You're back. You're back. Okay.
Are you going to read, Karuna, or shall Tom read? Or Sim?
Oh, I'll read. Seeing popular demand, I'll read.
Yeah.
I'll read. Keep me out
But
of danger.
Show your face, please.
No. Don't show
And
me
why aren't you showing your face, Karuna? I wonder.
because I'm fat and hairy.
No,
That we
we're
know
all-
already. You have always been like that. So nothing changed. Just show your face. It's more likable for us.
A message from Srila. He says, but make sure you end it somehow when you're finished.
Of course.
Cherry
We
tender
end
that.
it. I think
So-
Lolita's the host, so she'll have to end it.
Who said I'm the host?
Oh, I think, hasn't Maharaj made you the host, Lolita?
Did it yesterday, yes, but well, I have a leave button.
Yeah, we all have that. We should all just leave, shouldn't we, when we finish?
Everybody push on the leave button then, yeah.
Ecstatic dancing of the Lord at the Rath Yatra. How about that?
Yeah, great.
All
On there.
right. Okay, okay. Text one.
Yeah. But show your face, Karuna. Come
Oh,
on, man. You
God,
can
please.
you can do better than this.
Jesus Christ, man.
Come on, Karuna, show yourself.
There you go. How was that? How's that for you?
That's it.
Man,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do what I thought you was doing.
yeah. What?
Nicely
What?
cut and heavy.
I'm enjoying the sunshine.
With
Okay. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Text one. May the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, who danced in front of the car of Sri Jagannath, be all glorified. By seeing his dancing, not only has the whole universe held in wonder, but Lord Jagannath himself became very astonished. All glories to Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Prabhu Nityananda, all glories to Advaita Chandra, and all glories to the devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to the listeners of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Please hear the descriptions of the dancing of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the Rath Yatra festival. His dancing is very enchanting. Please hear with great attention. The next day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his personal associates got up in the dark and attentively took their early morning baths. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his personal associates then went to see the ceremony of Pandu Vijaya. During this ceremony, Lord Jagannath leaves his throne and gets up into the car. I just like to say that sounds like a very easy process, but by Jesus, if you see it in real life, it's a whole kettle of fish. It's amazing, isn't it? I don't know if anybody here has been at the Rath Yatra festival or a festival like it, but my God, the festivities are just, you think rave parties are intense. Wow. Anyway.
Yeah, it's great. Such a festival. I had one, a big one in Nepal. It was really wonderful.
Where was that?
Nepal with Balaram was wonderful.
Hmm. Which deity were they taking out? Do you remember?
Jagannath Baladev Subhadra.
Ah, so okay. You saw it in Orissa. You saw it in Jagannath Puri.
No, there was no Ratha Yatra when we were there, but later we went to Nepal and there was a
Oh, Nepal. Oh my God.
Nepal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, they have Jagannath up there in Nepal.
Yeah.
Ooh. I love the story that Balaram told us that you know the temple or the room that Lord Chaitanya stayed in and rubbed his head against the wall and covered in blood and was all ecstatic and going crazy. And Balaram went into that room and stayed there and chanted, and the pujaris came in and kicked him out.
Yeah.
And then he helped them put the deity in there. There's a deity of Lord Caitanya in that room, in his ecstasy. That's so cool because Balaram is such a sort of a carpenter, engineer. He helped them get the deity in the door.
Yeah, we were at the right time there, right
Yeah.
place, right circumstances. Yeah.
Aren't we always?
First he got chastised, and then they were glorifying him for the helping.
It's greed. But I mean, that is total greed. You know, Balaram's the kind of. I mean, I don't want to go on about Balaram. You know, kind of sensitive topic, but he's so greedy and so cheeky and gets into places that he just goes behind the curtain and just his childish, boyish kind of greed gets doors opened and stuff.
It's a very small room, that room where at Gambira. It's really very small. Yeah. Very powerful to feel the energy there.
Wow. I'd love to go there one day. One day when we're all, I don't know, maybe I'll never get there, but I can always just hang out here and I'm already there. It's not about geography, people, it's about consciousness. Anyway, continuing. King Prataparudra in person, as well as his entourage, allowed the Pandu Vijay ceremony to be seen by all the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his prominent devotees, Advaita, Nityananda, and the others, were very happy to observe the Lord Jagannath begin the Rath Yatra. The very strongly built yaitas, the carriers of Jagannath deity, were as powerful as drunken elephants. They manually carried Lord Jagannath from the throne to the car. And if you've seen some pictures of these guys, they are pumped up. They're some serious testosterone boys. While carrying the deity of Lord Jagannath, some of the yaitas took hold of the shoulders of the Lord, and some caught his lotus feet. Lord Jagannath deity was bound at the waist, strong, thick ropes made of silk. From two sides, the daityas caught hold of this rope and raised the deity. Strong, puffed-up cotton pads called tulis were spread out from the throne to the car, and the heavy deity of Lord Jagannath was carried from one pillow-like pad to the next by the daityas. While the daityas carried the heavy Jagannath deity one pad to the next, some of the pads broke, and the cotton contents floated into the air. While they broke, they made a heavy cracking sound. So it's like, to me, it's like petals falling from cherry trees, like demigods showering flowers. Yeah. Lord Jagannath is the maintainer of the whole universe. Who can carry him from one place to another? The Lord moves by his personal will just to perform his pastimes. While the Lord was transported from the throne to the car, tumultuous sounds were made on various instruments. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was chanting, Manima, Manima, but he could not be heard. What does Manima mean? Does anyone know? Manima. Manima. Tom, look that up. Manima. While the Lord was
I
being
can see that you are the host, Connor. Connor Ryan is the host. Karuna.
I don't know him. I don't know Conor Ryan.
Yeah, that's why I say Karuna.
Oh, Jesus. I'm the host. Oh, I could end this when I want. Right, good luck. Good to meet you all. I'll see you all later. I've got drink to drink. Manima. What does that Manima mean? I'm not going to speculate, but I'd like to, but I won't. While the Lord was being carried from the throne to the car, King Prataparudra personally engaged in the Lord's service by cleansing the road with a broom with a golden handle. The king sprinkled the road with sandalwood-scented water. Although he was the owner of the royal throne, he engaged in menial service for the sake of Lord Jagannath. Although the king was the most exalted, respectable person, still he accepted menial service of the Lord. He therefore became a suitable candidate to receive the Lord's mercy. Upon seeing the king engaged in such menial service, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very happy. Simply by rendering this service, the king received the mercy of the Lord. Everyone was astonished to see the decorations of the Rath cart. The car appeared to be newly made of gold, and it was as high as Mount Sumeru. I was in Kumbakonam in South India, and there was a Rath festival for Vishnu, and they took the deity out, and the Rath cart was like made of like teak, like black wood, and the carvings depicted all of the Lord's pastimes and other pastimes that none of us knew, and it was huge, and the wheels were like, it was just like an awesome piece of engineering skill. I mean, everything in India, everything in India is just like, I mean, by being in India and seeing those temples and seeing the devotion of these people, it's just like, it's out of this world, out of this world. And then the English and the, you know, all these invading, conquering countries think that the Indians are like some backward, low class beings who just, you know, plow the earth and eat vegetables and don't conquer civilization. It's just like, they got it so back asswards. It's crazy. It's, when you see the artwork and the dedication and the skill and the out of this world instructions, it just puts you in a whole different world.
Can I interrupt? You say you see the devotion of those people, but it's so sad actually that they don't get the answer of the Lord. There is a lot of effort. They do loads and loads of efforts, but you don't see that there is real contact. You don't see that. And that I think that's such a pity, because the real devotion is not there. It's all about rituals.
I know what you're saying, particularly because we're in this Sangha, but they're not on the Raganuga platform. They're on the
I
Vaidhi
know.
Varnashram Dharma platform. And it's not a pity, it's not a shame, it's just a shame that the flagship of Krishna consciousness is ISKCON, which is still living in those times. And times have changed. This is Lord
But they
Caitanya.
don't have this happiness. They do so many efforts still. They don't have this happiness. They don't feel like they're jumping out of their body, out of yeah, like we do, because nobody gave them the spirit inside of them.
They are
There
in
is
they are in a treadmill in another kind of happiness, and they are in that treadmill of another kind of happiness.
yeah, but the other kind, yeah, but it's not. Yeah, but if they would know that this would exist, they would immediately choose for this one, you know.
I don't know if they would, you know, they're quite happy with their family arrangements and their social standard and their status quo. You know, they might go, that's very nice for you, but we have our system and our protocol, and we've been doing this for generations and generations. And, you know, not all people are ready for this. Not all people are ready for a Raganuga ecstatic prema association. Some of them aren't quite happy to continue in the family line. I know. I mean, hey, all God's creatures got a place to choir. You know, some sing this tune and some sing other tunes. So it's not a pity. Everybody has their place in God's tapestry.
Well, you can say they do it for generations and generations, but my over-grandparents, they went to church, Catholic church, my grandparents, my parents, me, and none of us ever knew how to experience the Holy Spirit. Well, that's actually the goal of going to church. So it's the same like with us, with them. They are ignorant. And that's why Lord Caitanya came, to take us out of that ignorance. Therefore, for me, it's a pity. Of course, they are satisfied with what they have, but suppose they would, if you have real compassion for the world, you spread this. You talk to everybody that you can see. You try to explain that.
Yeah. And that's why Maharaj and
There is more. There is more.
Yes, we have to. You have to be empowered to be able to bring it on, to bring it to the other people. And Krishna is also the timer. He allows us. He says he commits us when we can spread this. For every person, it's also the timing is in Krishna's hands.
It's now. Now is the time.
For
now.
Some
Because Guru Maharaj is empowered now. The living example is there now. The revival is now. We don't have to wait too long. It's now that it's happening.
Yeah, so the chance, they have the chance now to come.
Yeah, yeah.
People who've been doing all of these rules and regulations for a long time, and they're satisfied in doing that. It's because they've been doing it for a long time and they are stuck in their comfort zone of doing it for a long time. And if they're still covered, if they stay in that comfort zone of doing these rituals again and again and again, because that is all they know, they're still covered and they still need to remove, because it is about growing a relationship with Krishna, and we need to keep moving and moving. And when we are holding on to the bona fide spiritual master, Lord Caitanya, through Srila Gaura Haridas, we can keep moving and moving. I mean, I'll just say myself, I've been quite stuck for most of my life because of being in this material knowledge of being in a sick body and not knowing, you know, yes, I know, yes, we're spirit soul, but actually not knowing what that exactly means and what that exactly is. And now I've been uncovered of this material knowledge and really know that I'm not this body, and all the diseases in this body are just reactions, distractions from my activities. If we stay in the place we think we are fine, oh, I'm fine in this place, I'm fine in place, you won't be fine in that place for a long time. You will eventually, something will happen. Maya Devi will do something to push you out of that comfort zone at some point. So people just need to, I mean, here, the deepest level of Siddhanta is given, you know, the deepest level of Krishna is given. And we all have a relationship with Krishna, and we are all covered to different degrees of Maya, and we all just need it lifting off. Here, because Maharaj is so empowered, those coverings of this Maya are lifting off. So I know now that, you know, I'm more settled in that my body is quite sick and I go through quite a lot of things, but the growth of Krishna growing in my heart because of coming here has told me, you know, I can move forward. I don't have to be held down by this ascending knowledge, this limited knowledge by this material world. To knowing the truth of who we are empowers us to move forward with Srila Gaura Haridas and bringing others on board to join this path, because it's actually the only path out of this, it's the only real true exodus out of this material world. So, you know, you can be satisfied. It's the fastest. It's what Prabhupada has appointed Srila Gaura Haridas for, and it is working. It has worked. It is working, and it's just giving out. And if we just want to stay where we are, maybe why Karuna then? Why do you think, right? If people keep doing the same thing and they're satisfied with that, they're just going to be stuck in a comfort zone. How are they going to move forward to knowing Krishna deeper and relish Krishna more and more, whilst they relish him a little bit by doing these rules and rituals and regulations and things? But we can go so much further in that by serving the Lord and having a spontaneous relationship with our friend, our Lord and Master, every single day. And that is nourishing our spirit souls. We can be satisfied in what we're doing, but we're not getting nourished. But here in the Sangha, we're still where we are. We do the things we do, but we're getting satisfied. And the Lord is satisfied by being nourished by his pure potency, pure bhakti streaming to the Lord in our hearts. Is that pure bhakti when they do these rules and regulations streaming to the hearts of these people who are satisfied in rules and regulations. If, like Lalita said, if they knew what was really going on and they knew what really happens with a deeper relationship with Krishna, they would come here. They really would. There's actually no doubt about that.
That's just the ignorance. Yeah, that's why we need to preach.
Yeah, ignorance of material knowledge.
Lord Caitanya also came because the world was ignorant. They didn't know about it. Nobody knew it. He came to show the symptoms because nobody knew it. So if he didn't come, we were not here. We would not relish it now. So, yeah. Vaidhi Bhakti was there already. The rituals were there already. But Lord Caitanya came to give us something more, to teach us something more, to give us more closeness to the Lord, to give us more pleasure in our worship. And that's the revival we are living in now.
So, okay, then Karuna, you say that it's not the only path. What are the other paths that are giving what Maharaj is giving here?
There are so many paths to God. All roads lead to Rome.
Yeah, so many paths, that's true. All roads go to Rome. I'm not sure. But some take a long trip to Rome and some take a shortcut.
Lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes
Yeah.
of walking this path. And, you know, in the material world, you know, isn't it so that when we travel somewhere, we want to go the fastest way possible? You know, we don't, you know, most of the time we want to kind of get through the traffic and get through all the distractions and get to the place that we're going most of the time, you know, and on this path, you know, it's the fastest way possible. It's taking out all the debris, it's taking out all of our distractions, it's taking out all of our attachment and entanglement and moving them out, clearing them out of the way, you know, so we can carry on walking the straight path because of how fast it is and because of how it nourishes us and how it nourishes from within to outwards, and share that with others. And I keep saying, you know, we're always moving with Krishna. This is my thing. You know, I need to hear these things. We're always moving in a relationship with Krishna, and that is our spiritual relationship with Krishna on that spiritual platform, and it's always moving. And that is the highest level of Krishna, where people in these these organizations and these religious rituals and all sorts of things that people do, it's actually not on that spiritual platform. It's in the material platform still. Material, it's really with the material platform. Sorry?
The material platform. If you're chanting Hare Krishna and putting Lord Jagannath and having a festival, how is that material? You have this idea that everything that is not Srila Guru Haridas is material.
But it's true, because you know what?
No.
Because Maharaj, sorry Lalita, Maharaj doing classes every day is actually bringing Lord Jagannath out to everybody. He's bringing out the Lord for everybody to see. He doesn't have to have the big chariots and all the people. This is his sangha. This is what's the right word to call it? Gora Haridas Yamastami. Gora Haridas. He's bringing the Lord out every day. No need to spend that money, no need to spend that time, no need to do that external worship when it is happening here. The Lord is coming out every time to everybody. Sorry, Lolita, you can carry on. I'm getting very transcendentally passionate. Carry on.
I just want to say, because it says, you ask why is it not spiritual there? Well, as long as the spirit is not there, it's material. You need a spiritual. You need to feel the spirit needs to be alive. Yeah.
That is a different platform.
Yeah.
It's still transcendental.
Explain what you mean, Karuna. Explain it deeper.
They are carrying the deity of Lord Jagannath out of the temple. What is the deity? What is the deity? Lord Caitanya said it himself. The deity is God, Vigraha, form of God. People who go to the temple,
Lord Caitanya was playing sannyasi, and he is going to say those things.
Let me speak before you go on your rant again. God is in the holy name. God is in the deity. If you live in Jagannath Puri, if you live in India in a Vaishnava collective, or not even Vaishnava, even a Shaivite or a Sri Sampradaya or Kumar Sampradaya, hell, even if you're a Christian or a Muslim or a Ekin, whatever it is, if you are praying to God and if you are chanting God's name, Hail Mary, full of grace, if you're going to a church, if you're following God's instructions to you, which may be to you rules and regulations, you have a connection with God because we're already parts of God. We're already God-like. We already have that connection. It's just about rekindling. So to poo-poo any other spiritual path shows a real narrow-mindedness to the glory of God's mercy. Yes, Srila Guru Haridas's ecstasy is the highest on the planet, but that doesn't mean we should poo-poo or belittle any other journey. People have their own relationship.
Nobody's doing that, Karuna. Nobody mentioned another religion. Nobody mentioned that. That is what you're thinking, you know, because everybody's path has truth in it, and they can, you know, especially if they link to the parampara here, they can see the truth in their own religious in their own religions and what they follow, and they can see that. So, you know, my rant, absolutely, it's a transcendental rant, and I will rant on and rant on and rant on for Srila Gaura Haridas, because I'm a warrior on the frontier of this movement, which is real, true life force for every living being who can deeply be sheltered and protected. I've needed this all my life, sheltered and protected, and be able to really rest and relax, which I can do in this place, in this Sangha, and have been doing, and have been given and given continuously the mercy of the Lord. You know, the deities are going out. They are going out. The actual spiritual potency of those deities is out there right now. Maharaj is doing this. Lalita's doing this, you know, every single day and all the time. And there's just so much mercy going out there. Whereas we all live in a place of the material world where we see things and we hear things and we have to do things and we have to speak. So all these spiritual, these buildings and these ceremonies and all of these things, people are still covered by the material world. They might be doing all of these things, but they're still covered. The spirit of the Lord is not there because they are so looking and focusing on the lower.
The spirit of the Lord is everywhere.
No,
Yes.
the spirit of the Lord needs to be given unto you. It's Bhakti Lada Beach.
Someone else be the host.
Be planted in your heart.
Can I stop being the host? Can I get off this host crap? Okay, wait. So I can't speak to you people. You're just too fundamental.
See, there you go. You're always putting and judging us and criticizing us when you have not experienced. You have not experienced what we're experiencing. I don't experience what Lalita experiences yet. But you know what? I've experienced more than much more than before. You know, and you would be able to speak about this if you had experienced it, Karuna. Whereas you can't. What people do is, you know, they want to stay where they are, so they're going to fight for what they believe in. Well, you know what? I'm not doing that with you. I know what Srila Gaura Haridas is being given me every single day, what Lalita gives to us. It is a given. The spirit is everywhere. You cannot really receive that spirit until you connect with the real guru and receive that spirit straight down from the parampara, you know, and it's coming out right now, you know.
Are you telling me that nobody else experiences God except people in this Sangha?
Say that again?
Are you telling me that only people in this Sangha experience God?
I'm not saying that only people in this Sangha experience this God. Whereas in this Sangha, you know, we have the real bona fide spiritual master. We have the real bona fide spiritual master making devotees. We have the real bona fide spiritual master who was appointed by Srila Prabhupada and is actually doing the job that Srila Prabhupada wrote about in his books. We have the books to back it up. We have the devotees' testimonies. We have the great deep knowledge of the Lord. We have the experience and the feeling of the Lord here. You know, we have the videos, we have the writings, everything is here. We're putting it all together. Who else is doing this, Karuna? Bring some people here who are doing exactly what we're doing in this Sangha right here, right now. Because unless you step up and get uncovered by some of the bullshit that you speak about to try and bring this Sangha down, yeah, right? You will never bring this Sangha down. You are not a guru, and people will never follow you until you surrender to Srila Gaura Haridas yourself and experience real spirit. And until then, shut your bloody mouth. And I'm not angry at all. I'm just really glad to say that. Thank you very much. Are you coming back for dinner now?
You don't hear about the miracles in other places as we have here. You hear about the miracles with ecstatic Christians, but with Vaishnavas, bring me some. Let them talk about the miracles. Let them fly high like we do. I want to see them flying.
You know, Maharaj was saying, you know, he says to me, Lalita, that Yamuna, you're a naughty girl. And I think to myself, in this life, compared to everybody around me, I haven't really been a naughty girl, you know. So I've probably been naughty in previous lifetimes. And you know what? That naughtiness has brought me to facing karma. You know, the reactions of that stuff is brought me to face karma in this life, you know, of suffering and suffering and suffering and thinking, why am I suffering when I don't really do anything, you know, to cause it? Yes, I have been doing things to cause it in other lives. And, you know, to surrender and to do as Maharaj asks, to really connect with Maharaj and to be there for him and to be a witness. I mean, you said this, Lolita, to be here in class and to be a witness for Maharaj, you know, so the Lord is really rising through Maharaj, through us as well, and bringing that on, because, you know, this is a family thing. This is a family. This is a family mission. You know, it's for all the family mission, because it's about all of us to stand up, be able to stand up with the Lord in our hearts, and it could only be done through Srila Gaura Haridas and this parampara. And it may sound arrogant, like the Christians, you know, they say it can only be done through Jesus. Yes, that's true for them, and they will go to Vaikuntha, but they will not, like Maharaj is always saying, be able to visit all the rooms in the kingdom of God. Whereas we believe in absolute truth, which is God everywhere. We will be able to go to all the kingdoms, all the rooms in the kingdom of God, because we believe absolute truth and the Lord is everywhere. You know, if we don't believe in Jesus, doesn't mean that means we're going to go to hell. That is rubbish, and that has been proven here and shown and proven so many times. And Jesus isn't doing what Srila Gaura Haridas is doing, which is breaking people out of the cycle of birth and death, which is delivering people from this material world, which is making gurus and making spiritual masters, which is the wish of Srila Prabhupada. And he is doing all of these things, and they're clear to see. You can check them and watch them and ask us questions and do anything to be able to get that information to you, or get that true spiritual information, that energy, that vibration, to awaken the Lord. And Srila Gaura Haridas is doing that. Yeah. There's nowhere else. Bring it on, Karuna. You say these words, bring this here and show us. You know, stop spouting your mouth off without any proof. Yeah, bring it on. And there you go. I think I'm ready for dinner now. You know, right now I've got leg ache, backache, my knees hurting, you know, but, you know, focusing on this truth, you know, with all this stuff that's going off, and being able to share this and be with you guys. I'm so grateful. Thank you to Tom and Lolita and to Maharaj and Karuna, you're there. Nice reading, by the way, Karuna. Let's hear some more of that. It was lovely. It was lovely. Right, I'm going to go.
Me too. I'm going.
Okay. Thank you
Karuna,
very
can
much.
you stop it? Can you end as host, Mr. Host?
Karuna's going to stay on so he can.
I will fucking end when I get to some fucking transcendental dance
Karuna,
of Lord Caitanya.
Karuna, why don't you end now? Why don't you end now? Why don't you
I
end
don't
now?
know, because I'm reading the dance. Okay,
Oh,
I'm
go,
reading
go,
the dance of Lord
go on.
Caitanya.
Don't
happening.
make it too long. Don't make
No,
it
I
too
won't make it too long. You
Thank you,
guys
guys.
make it too long by being fundamental hardcore, and Jesus Christ is the only
It's
way.
not, you
right.
missed the word off there. It's transcendental fundamentalism. It's not
Jesus.
material fundamentalism. Material mental fundamentalism creates people who want to control and manipulate and cheat and all of those things. This is not about that. It's all transcendental. There you go. Boom. Tom, you're quiet.
Yeah,
Tom's quiet.
Tom is fucking
Tom,
right.
Tommy,
What does Mani Ma mean? Tom, what does Mani Ma mean? Can anyone find out what Mani
long. We're
Ma
still
means?
finding the words, Tom.
Can anyone find out what Mani Ma means? For the love of God. Look what I have in my bag. Look what I have.
Hare
we should
Krishna,
put that.
everybody.
We should put that on the back of the car.
No, we should get
Okay.
Light through it.
Karuna, we have to end now.
Why does Maharaj say it's time is to go?
We have to end, yes.
Yeah.
Says who? Says who? Maharaj says go.
Okay,
Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Okay,
Bye
please
bye.
end.
Bye,
Haribol.
Yuna. Bye, Tom.
Haribol.
Bye, Lolita. Bye, everybody. Go on. Fiddle off now. Mani Ma. Mani Ma. All right. Oh, God. Everyone was astonished to see the decorations of the rat cart. The car appeared to be newly made of gold. and it was high as Mount Meru. The decorations included bright mirrors and hundreds of chamaras. On the top of the cart were a neat and clean canopy of very beautiful flags. The car was also decorated with silken cloth and various pictures. Many brass bells, gongs, ankle bells rang. For the pastime of the Rathayatra ceremony, Lord Jagannath got aboard the car, and his sisters Subhadra and elder brother Balaram got on board 2 other cars. For 15 days, the Lord had remained in a secluded place with the supreme goddess of fortune and had performed his pastimes. Having taken permission from the goddess of fortune, the Lord came out to ride on the rat cart, to perform his pastimes of pleasure for the devotees. Shuddha Gaura Haridas, Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for coming, everybody. More to come. Vahe Guru, Srila Gaura Haridas. Jesus Christ. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming. Tune in again. Don't be strangers.